This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, friends, good evening. I just want to draw your attention to one point that we had in this last subject. Somebody who made a neder for those who are seafarers. We say they're permitted to those who live on the dry land, but if you aser people on the dry land, you're aser to seafarers, because Yardei Hayam are included in Yoshvei Yabasha. And then the Mishnah ended off with a statement that the Gemara discusses, is it going on the Reish or the Seifa, not those who go from Akko to Yafo, but rather those who go far distances. So one opinion held that that statement was going on the Reisha. In other words, if you aser Yardei Hayam, then the halacha is you're mutter in the Yoshvei Yabasha, but you're not even aser in all Yardei Hayam. You're not aser to those who go from Akko to Yafo. Now, why Akko to Yafo not? So the Ran said that Akko to Yafo are considered Yoshvei Yabasha Nenu. So you look in the Ran on the second line of the Gemara, Mishamahu Porta, that small amount, Hainu me Akko Yafo, Shehin Kroivin Zelazeh, are loy mikri Yardei Hayam. They're not called Yardei Hayam. Akko to Yafo is a very short distance. Then the Gemara said that there are those who learn the statement is going on the Seifa. Then the Seifa, if you aser Yoshvei Yabasha, you're aser to the Yardei Hayam, and you're even aser to those who go far distances. That's how the Ran learns this Sugya. Basically, the Ran also learned that there are there's a Machlokes halachically between the two lashonos. In other words, when you aser Yardei Hayam, are you aser only for those who travel far distances, or even if you go from Akko to Yafo? According to Lishna Kama, you're not asering those who go from Akko to Yafo. That's not called Yardei Hayam. According to Lishna Basra, even that is included in Yardei Hayam. The Ran says halacha l'maisa, we go like the Lishna Basra, l'chumra. So what exactly is the difference between going me'akol Yafo and being mefarish liyam? The Ran said, because Akko Yafo is a very short distance. Look in the Rush. The Rush is found on Lamed Amud Beis. The Rush says, "Loi ke'elu halcha me'akol liyafo b'lad, de b'chlal Yardei Hayam heim li'asar." The Rush says, one second, let's see if that's the Rush. No, the Rush is on, in some Gemaras it's on Amud Aleph. The Rush says, "The mishum derech muat lai mikru Yardei Hayam, shem Yardei Hayam ke'elu b'chlal Yoshvei Yabasha." The Rush says, since it's such a short distance, that's not called Yardei Hayam. It's a very short distance. The Rush then is going like the Ran. Let's see Tosfos. Tosfos Divrei HaMaschal Ella. Tosfos says, "Ela b'mishadarkai loy ke'elo och me'akol Yafo, ela b'mishadarkai lefarish lios yomim rabim biyachad." If it's many days as opposed to me'akol Yafo is not many days. Okay? If you look in the Mefaresh, which is what Rashi is called, the Mefaresh says, "Ha'holchen ela b'mishnah Mefaresh aser." 1 second. Look in the Mefaresh on the Mishnah. Loi ke'elu yardei ayam halchem me'akol yafah she'em enem ela mahalach yoim echad uban mehira liyabasha deha bechlal yoshei yabasha. In other words, the way Rashi, the Mefarish, Rashi here is called the Mefarish. Toisis, the Rosh, the Ran all learn is that the difference between Yardei Hayam and Akol Yafo is the duration. Since Akol Yafo is a day or less, that's not called going out to sea. That's still considered Yabasha. Even though you're in the water, but less than a day, that's not called really going out. So, we're now in the Lishna Kama, that when you asa Yardei Hayam, you don't mean Me'akol Yafo. And according to most Rishonim, it's because it's too short of a distance, it's less than 1 day. However, the Ritva has a different approach over here. I hope I have it here on the sheet for you. The Ritva learns, Rav Papa, you know why Akol Yafo is not included? It's not because it's short. They don't go to the heart of the sea. They just go to the edge. It's not a matter of time. It's a matter of distance. Okay? The way the Ran learns is that Akol Yafo is short. If it's short, that's not called Yardei Hayam. The Mefarish says if it's less than a day, it's not called Yardei Hayam. The Ritva says no. Akol Yafo, you're just staying by the sea coast, so that's not. You're basically on the dry land. There's the the seabed is right underneath you. That's called Yoshvei Yabasha, not because it's only a day. It's because you never get out to the heart of the sea. You're right, basically by the coast. Okay, so you say, what's the Nafka Minah? By the way, the Rambam and the Parsha Mishnayos and the Shita Mekubetzes also says the difference is from Akol Yafo you could always see the sea coast, as opposed to when you go out to the sea you lose sight of the dry land. It's not a matter of time; it's a matter of are you in the heart of the sea. So the Chasam Sofer just points out that there is a very nice nafkamina between the way the Ran learns and the way the Ritva learns. And that is, there's a shaila discussed in the Ran from the Yushalmi. Let's say somebody goes out to the middle of the sea, but just for 1 day. They go out very far away, meaning they go mamish to the heart of the sea, but for 1 day. Is that called a Yardei Hayam? So according to the Ran, it's not called Yardei Hayam because you're only going out for 1 day. It's a short duration because the barometer is time. And even though you're going far, if you're coming back that day, you would not be considered Yardei Hayam. As opposed to, according to the Ritva, where the definition of Yardei Hayam is going to the heart of the sea. So they went to the heart of the sea. The fact that you're coming right back, that doesn't exclude you from the category of Yardei Hayam. If you look in the Chasam Sofer, Loi Keilu Shach Maggid Harakiah, Perish Rashi, Varan, Varash, Kasvu, Shem Holchim V'Shavim B'Yoimam. It's the same day. But of a Perish HaMishnah, the Rambam, and the Ritva, and the Mukei Yosef, Hatam Shem Einam Misrachakim. They're not going far. V'Einam Parshim Le'emtza Hayam, Ela Holchim B'Svas Hayam, Samach Li'Yabasha. So Chasam Sofer points out, V'Nirali, the Ika B'Neim, Iboy Yushalmi, the Nafkamina would be the Shali Yushalmi, Be'elu Ha'Holchim L'Tayal, those who go out to the tour, Ufarshim Le'emtzas Hayam, and they go long distances to the middle of the sea. Or V'Ritva Kasu Shalchim L'Tzadam, they go to catch fish, but they're coming home at night. So are they seafarers? In other words, you have a guy, he catches tuna fish. Is he a seafarer? So it depends. Rashi, the Ran, and the Rosh would say he's not a seafarer, he's only going for the day, according to the Ritva. He's going deep. I forgot, where's Reb Pinchas? One time when I had this chus to speak in San Diego, he brought me out onto the Pacific, and I forgot the terminology, but there's a place where the seabed drops. I forgot the word. you're going, and then the sonar detects the seabed just drops, 1,000 feet or something like that. So, according to the Ritva, you're Yardei Hayam. You're not Hocha Yabasha. You're coming back. You hope you're coming back. Yeah, you plan on coming back. So, Venerally the Ika benem Iboy Disham Be'ilo Ocham Latalu Parsha Lamtsas Hayam over Ritva Kasher Ocham Latzodagim Va'amnam Shavim B'yomim. They returned that day. V'im Kain Talia B'shnei Tamam Anal. It depends on the two reasons. Yeah, that's the one ha'ara I wanted to point out to you over here. Okay.
Someone goes on a cruise from from New York to England. What would you call that? He's a traveler. Would you say that he's a seafarer?
I know, right? No, I'm saying, we could debate what we would call it, right? But in terms of this nedar, when the guy says he's asering Yardei Hayam, so again, we don't. It's all academic because we go like the Seifa. We go like this. We go that it's going on the Seifa, which means if a guy made a neder, he's asering Yardei Hayam. He means even Me'akol Yafo. That's how the Ran came out. But we're now in the world that it's going on the Reisha, and if you aser Yardei Hayam, you only mean, parish liyam, but not Me'akol Yafo. So, what's the reason? Is it because it's short, or because you're staying on the sea coast? The Nafka would be a short trip to the middle of the sea. Anyway, that's just an interesting point over here. Okay, Rabbi, so we'll see everybody tomorrow. Daf Lamed Beis, okay? Kol tov, bracha l'hatzlacha. Kol tov.
Recording stopped.
Hi, Yehuda.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.